Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
Oh, yeah.
On the road.
Again.
on the road again. Just can't wait to be on the road again. Well, we're actually headed into Fort Smith this morning. We've got a little one in the back seat. Pop your head in, honey. Say hi. Hi. Yeah. We got a doctor's appointment for Scarlett, and we got some running around that we got to do. So since her appointment is, a little bit in the early morning or late morning, early afternoon, she's just going to be tagging along with us today.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to run some errands, go do the thing, and then head back home, and hopefully we'll still have some time left over to get back up there on top of the basement and work on the cabin, but I don't know, we're just going to have to see how today plays out.
Yep. We're sort of going by the seat of our pants, basically. We're, just going with the flow.
Like always.
But that's all right.
It's all good, man. We had a great weekend. Today's Monday. We had a very wonderful weekend this weekend. Celebrated Abe's birthday party. That was on Saturday. Did you have a good time at the party?
Yeah.
Yeah? All of their new little friends came over. You sure were having fun with Serenity. Mm-hmm. The Drifting Dreamers 5. They have 3 kids. We've talked about them and stuff. Anyway, Scarlett and their daughter Serenity are like best little buddies. And then the 2 boys, Abraham and Julia, they just both, and Wyatt, they all just take turns playing with everybody. It was a great time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
We had a Nerf gun fight.
You guys had a Nerf gun fight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you guys went down to the secret hideout. Yeah. Jacob, when their little boy, last time we went over to David's house and Come On Mountain, they had mud and stuff everywhere because it had just been raining and whatnot, and David had cleared out, and Abe had slipped and fell in the mud and had to borrow his clothes to come home in because he was soaking wet. Well, this time, that little boy slipped and fell down by the creek and was covered in water, and he had to borrow some Abe's clothes, so...
Kids, they're having fun.
Yeah, no, I'm just using that as an example to show like how much fun they have together. They just go buck wild, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And now this week we're going to be getting a lot of stuff done as much as we can on the top. We're going to be checking in on those trusses today.
Abundant sunshine on the forecast. Finally.
I'm hoping.
Well, besides Wednesday we might get a little sprinkle here and there, but I'm not even thinking about that.
My thing is anytime I see a big storm like that, or like for one day, I'm like, is it really going to be just for one day?
Yeah.
I know you're saying it's going to be a sunshiny day for this day and that day. I'm like, but you were calling for rain earlier this week, and now you're not.
Is it a lingerer?
It could come earlier. It could come a little later.
Yeah.
It could slow down and just slam us for 3 days. So.
Or it could just disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know. But
you never know.
For the majority of this week, though, we are looking at abundant sunshine. Today it's supposed to be in the 70s. The only day that we might have it be a little nasty is Wednesday.
Yeah, it's calling now 100% for rain on Wednesday.
But is that in the evening?
I mean,
just
I
the whole
haven't
day?
looked at it fully in depth, but
you just were looking at like the days.
Just looking at the days and what is to come, and I don't like looking into it full depth until about 48 hours out, and then it's like, okay, now it's somewhat better. I'm not going to sit there and think it's one way and then it changes on me.
Yeah,
like it always does.
Well, we're going to try to get in as much as we possibly can this week and finalize everything, because you were mentioning you're going to go check up on the trusses today.
Correct.
So expand on that.
We're going to check up on the arrival date on that and timing of that, and we're going to see what all that is, and if it's coming sooner than what I was expecting, then we're going to have to really start setting up and prepping for the delivery, basically.
Make sure to sit back in your seat, baby, with your seatbelt the right way, baby.
But yeah, no, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to today. We're going to get a lot of prep work done, and we're going to hopefully get back up there and get more work done.
Yeah.
So.
We do have a very busy day ahead today, just with us having to go into the big city of Fort Smith, right? So it's going to take up a lot of time, and then, by the time that we get home, we might have, 2 or 3 hours maybe to be able to get up there and get a few things done. But then the other kids are going to be coming home from school, and then it's going to be the whole, you know, homework, bath time, dinner, you know, et cetera. So I don't know how much time we're going to get to work on the cabin today, but if we do have any time, we'll be up there getting it.
Yep.
And tomorrow is looking fantastic, though. Tomorrow is looking like a beautiful sunshiny day, and we shouldn't have too many, you know, things that we got to do or anything like that. So
yeah, we should be all right. We should be good to keep on moving and heading through, and it should move on pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
So
it's been a very good weekend, though. We enjoyed the company of our family. My mom came over. My sister came from Little Rock as well, and she's in the area visiting, which is always good to hang out with sis.
yeah.
And, you know, my brother and Rox and the older my nieces and stuff like that. We had a very, very good time, though. And David, the Drifting Dreamers, they all came over. And besides that, I mean, that's the party. That's what it was. And it was
relaxed.
Yeah, it was very good. The kids had a blast. Abraham, for his favorite food, just like Gary, is meatloaf, right?
Yes.
And so I've never made a meatloaf this big in my life, guys. I made a 10-pound, like the meat, I used 10 pounds of meat. And it was like, you know, those big turkey roaster pans that you can get for around Thanksgiving or whatever, the big giant aluminum pan ones. Anyway, the whole thing was a meatloaf. I never made one that big in my life, but it turned out good.
It turned out really good.
Fed everybody meatloaf and mashed potatoes and gravy with mixed vegetables. So that was like corn and green beans and carrots and all that like mixed up, and some biscuits.
It was good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Hearty.
Yes.
And
fed everybody.
Well, we have plenty more. We're gonna have to turn that meatloaf into like a spaghetti sauce or something.
Which is actually happening tonight for dinner. I'm gonna do a leftover makeover, and because my fridge is full, but it has leftovers, right? So I'm gonna do a leftover makeover and use some of that leftover meatloaf meat in my spaghetti sauce. And then later on, like this week, I'm gonna use some of the leftover mashed potatoes and make a shepherd's pie and just try to, like, you know, not waste the food. So I'm trying to plan. I got so many things I'm juggling right now. Trying to plan it all, but it's all good. And then we actually get to do another birthday party all over again this weekend for Julia, because Abraham and Julia's birthday is only 4 days apart. So obviously a few years and 4 days, but they're sometimes their birthday, we have two birthdays in one actual week, as far as like Sunday to Saturday, you know. This time it didn't work out that way because Abe's birthday was on Saturday, but Julia will be on Wednesday. So we're very busy, very, very busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
In the best way possible.
Yep, we're having a great time.
Yeah, life is good.
We'll be able to get a lot accomplished today, and tomorrow is going to be a heck of a busy day. We're going to be trying to finalize everything that we can and get it to where we're adding on sheathing and just waiting on the trusses.
Yeah, we got to get that double top plate going too. There's been questions. People are wondering, are you putting on a double top plate? Yes, we are.
I just want to get all the doorways and everything else in there fully and not have to toenail everything 100%. So just makes it that much easier. And then as soon as I do get that top plate on, then I'll be able to go around and start sheathing.
Yeah, which will be fun. It'll be cool and exciting, and it'll change the feel and change the look of everything again, right?
I went and already got the structural bolt lags that I needed, and fasteners and everything else like that.
Maybe
so
when I'm done talking.
I'm going to be bolting all the corners and all the walls together and everything else like that. But I want to be able to get some sheathing in.
I do too.
And that way we can go through and start really hitting it.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be the next couple of weeks for us are going to be very crazy. We have big plans to wrap up February. I think so far everything is still kind of on schedule and where we want it to be. Just to let y'all know, by the end of this month, we'd like to have the sheathing up, we'd like to have the trusses up, and we'd like to pretty much be dried in. That's the goal. Now, if we have to move the goalpost a little bit, that's okay, but that's what we're aiming for. So, yeah.
Yep. It's a lot, but we should be able to get a lot done. So.
Oh, and over the weekend, so there was, last time we did a real talk, we were discussing the placement of the front door, because that was something that we were still kind of flopping back and forth. We were like, well, we could have it right here, we could have it over there, and there's not really many places that we can place it. There's only, like 16 feet of wall that it could be moved one way or another.
I want to say it might even be like 14. Well, yeah. Probably about 16.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe 16 feet. Well, over the weekend, I made a decision. Because Gary's like, it's up to you, Mel. It's up to you now. And I'm all the pressure. So I finally made a decision, and I decided exactly where the front door is going to go, which way it's going to swing, how we are going to do it, all of that. Because the way the swing of the door was also kind of a huge determining factor on where I wanted it and why and everything. Yeah. So I'm actually going to be placing it in the center of the room, in the living room. So it won't be in that hallway area. It won't be anywhere else. Center of the room, in the living room. Have some windows to each side of it, and the door is going to be swinging outwards onto the decking area, because that decking area that we're going to have in the front is going to be a nice deck. It's not going to be as huge as the one in the back. The back deck is going to be massive. It's going to be this huge thing. The one in the front's more of like a landing deck, but we're going to turn that landing deck into our mudroom.
Correct.
So we're going to have an additional little thing. We've discussed it. We've come up with a plan on how we want it to look, the feel, everything. And I think that's going to be the best for us. And we can also, one of the big things was that we wanted a metal security screen on the front door. So that way we can have, airflow and stuff, and have everything be nice and locked up tight and whatnot. We're just going to put that metal security screen on the decking.
Yes.
And so it's going to work out really nice. It's going to look really good. I'm super excited.
Deck area is going to be screened in, or maybe even fully enclosed. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be enclosed one way or another, but It might not be fully enclosed with like walls that go all the way up. My mom and dad in Arizona, they had a enclosed patio along the back where they had it, and they have like this metal screening that you can use to, basically you build a half wall up and then you add the metal screening, so protects you from flies, it protects you from the sun, and all that stuff. So it's really nice, and the airflow can still flow in, and you could see out of it.
Okay.
So we were considering and thinking about something like that for our mudroom, front porch landing area. Okay. Either way, it will be rainproof, so we can open up the door and we're not going to get drenched. It'll be shaded in the summer when it gets really hot, and we are discussing about it being enclosed. We just haven't fully decided 100% yet. We don't have the materials, right? So we haven't shopped for them. We're still
You can always make that into a sunroom if you really wanted to.
True, and we can go and get, windows and stuff, and put windows in there and all that.
You want to take many windows. Especially if we made it tiny, in the sense of like just 10 by 6,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be huge.
It doesn't need to be massive. It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be crazy. It just needs to be big enough to where you can walk in there, take off your boots, and not have to worry about critters getting inside your boots.
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
Yes.
And
so with that, the swing of the front door isn't going to be swinging into the living room anymore, since we're going to have that steps that you walk up, have the metal security gate that you open, and then now you're in a different space. So the front door can actually swing outwards into that space, so it won't take up space in the living room, which opened up a whole new world for everything for us. Because doorway swings, those take up space.
Correct. And I like the inward swinging just because of the metal screen that you can put on there. And then you can open up the door and let airflow throughout just from the front door. But since we're going to be doing the front deck screening area right there, we could have the door swinging outwards, and then
with the metal screen right there, you get the airflow and everything.
Airflow through and everything else. So it don't matter if it's you leave your front door open right in that area.
Yeah.
It's all screened anyway.
And you don't got to worry about all the flies.
Correct.
Because that's our biggest battle right now. I mean, it seems like we go through these cold chills, right, where everything's frozen, the flies go away, and then as soon as we get like a warm day, it's like they all come out all over.
Abundance of flies.
So many flies. It's just crazy.
What in the world?
You put up a fly strip and it's black the next day. It's like, oh, how?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a reality of living in the country, and I guess maybe just in the South, humid areas. I don't know, but it's a reality for us where we live. Abundant flies, especially in like the summer and when it gets warmer, man. It's just flies. So
flies upon flies.
yeah, anytime that we can like mitigate any of that, and we're gonna try. So that huge thing has been taken off of our plate, so now we know exactly where that cutout is gonna be. We are gonna start working on the external walls as far as doors and the window cutouts and stuff. That's what we're going to be working on this week as we wait for the trusses to come up and we start doing all the sheathing and everything. There's just a tiny bit of that we have left to do.
Yep.
And then it's truss and sheathing and dry it in.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
It's getting closer and closer.
I know. It's
like I said, I want to get those windows
exciting.
And the doorways in because that's going to finish the exterior and we can start sheathing.
I know.
As soon as the exterior windows and doors are all in, then we can go around and do the double top plate real quick.
Oh, that's not
really
gonna,
not going to take
no.
us that long. And that's going to help square it up a lot closer to before we start sheathing. And then once we put the sheathing on, that's going to finish up squaring everything up.
And we got to do like the hurricane straps or whatever, right?
Correct.
So we still have to do that too.
There's a lot to it. It's not, we've got a lot to do here. There's a lot of different ways where I can connect the bottom plate for the blocks before the joists go on.
Yeah.
There's a way where I can connect that anchoring bolt to the top plate or the bottom plate of the house. So it's pulling everything to the foundation.
Well, I know we already have one set of hurricane straps already on.
Correct.
And
that's the bolting it to the foundation.
To the blocks, to the basement.
Correct.
Yes.
And we have to also put banding through it so that because it's a split, right, from the joist to that, we're going to put banding as well, which if we're doing the joist tie like that, there's no point to do the banding, but I'm going to do the banding anyway.
Because you're Gary.
I'm me, exactly.
I don't hate on it. I'm yeah, no.
And then
you're right.
also when we go to bolt the actual trusses on, we're doing the same exact thing where we're going to be putting hurricane straps on every single one. We're going to overkill the hurricane straps as well and everything else. Like
there's going to be many pieces to the process.
There's many little pieces to it, and like I said, the sheathing, we're not nailing those in. Those are going to get screwed in, so that's going to add a lot of rigidity-ness as well as from the racking.
Yes.
Or pull out or anything else for the building. So screwing in those will definitely help out tremendously.
Yeah. You're a man with a plan.
Correct. Nails make it a lot easier to get, things going. But there's a point where it's like screws are, okay, now I'm done with that. Let me put a screw in there. Because last thing I want is that nail to back out over time. Yeah, it does happen.
I hear you. Especially with how windy it is, which is super windy today. Tiny is kind of flopping around a little bit in the car today, and all the trees are going crazy, but it's still a beautiful day, and it's going to be a beautiful day.
But we're going to get on with it. We're going to get Scarlett over to the doctors and get our running around errands done in Fort Smith. Since we're going to Fort Smith, we might as well.
Yeah, the big city.
Stop at all the big stores,
Maybe we'll have Scarlett help us with some shopping for Julia's present or something. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. But we are going to have a wonderful day. I wish you all out there have a wonderful day as well. Thank you for everybody that joined us on our live chat last night on the main channel. We unboxed. We finally got the silver play button. So thank you everybody for helping us to achieve that milestone. Thank you for joining us in that live chat. If you guys missed it, maybe you want to watch the replay, go for it. It's up on the channel. I will have, so updates on videos real quick before we get off. We will be back here on Real Talk tomorrow. I should have a video on Simple Life Reclaimed for you guys tomorrow. I wasn't able to finish it this weekend. If you were on the live chat, I was like, I don't know if it'll be up, when. So I'm thinking the Simple Life video is most likely going to be out tomorrow. We'll be back here on Real Talk tomorrow. We've got a very busy week ahead, so lots are going to be coming out. I'm going to try to put out some extra vlogs for you this week too, just because of how busy and how much we got going on and juggling and stuff. So we'll see what I'm able to do. Always aim high, right? Yep. So I'm aiming high.
We definitely got to catch back up with all what we got filmed though. So.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I need to just keep going at it, but I'll keep whacking away on the videos, guys. Thank you for your patience and thank you for being here with us and being a part of this journey. So we'll be back on Real Talk tomorrow. And until then, friends, love y'all. I hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.